Okay, today's daf is Yoma Lamed Tet, Yoma 39. The Gemara on Lamed Tet Amud Beis talks about the Beis Hamikdash. It says when things weren't going good for Klal Yisrael, Dalsos HaHeichal Niftachos Me'alein, the doors of the Heichal would open by themselves to symbolize that the enemies would come into the Beis Hamikdash. And Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai said back, "V'karnis nabel Zachari ben Ido, psach levanon dalasecha v'tochel eish barazecha." He said this is already forecasted by Zachariah. The Levanon will open its doors and the cedar will be consumed. The doors were made out of wood, of cedar wood. We know that from a Gemara on Daf Lamed Chedam and Aleph. The Gemara brings Tana Rabbana Ma'isa. That's the second line. Tana Rabbana Ma Nisim Nasu Dalsosav. The doors of Nicanor, that were the doors of the Heichal, they had miracles happen to them. Amruk Shahalach Nicanor Lahavi Dalsos Min Alexandria Shal Mitzrayim. He brought the doors from Egypt, from Alexandria in Egypt, city in Egypt. Because Raso Amar Alav Nachshal Shabiyam Lutavo. Nato Achas Mehen Ve'tilu Aliyam. Adaylo Nachayam. One of the doors they threw into the Mediterranean Sea. They wanted to throw the other door in, but he wouldn't. He said, "I'm going in with it." Eventually, the storm stopped. And he was upset that he lost one of the doors. Came in Shigil the Nemala Shal Akko. They got already up to Akko, which is the northern part of Israel. The port there, Haisam Mivatzvetzet Vyotzem Mitakas Dovne Asvina. The door was coming out, they emerged from the bottom of the boat. V'yeshomrim Biryash B'yam Balasa V'kiyasa Liabasha V'alei Amar Shlomo Koros Batenu Arazim Ritenu Brosim Altkri Brosim Ela Bris Yam Leficha Kol Hashem Shem Mikdash Nishana Liyoshal Zav Chutz Mishari Nikanor Nishnasu Bonisim. Eventually all the other gates on the Beis Hamikdash became gold to beautify the Beis Hamikdash, except Shar Nikanor, because Nisim were done, it remained made out of wood. The pasuk says, "Koros basinu arazim reisenu berosim." What is it talking about? So Rashi has his own pshat in berosim, but reitenu in Hebrew is rehitim, our furniture. The door is part of your furniture. Berosim is lashon of Beirut, which is the capital of Lebanon. Apparently, what happened is, the question is, the Gemara says that Beis Hamikdash is called Levanon. Why is it called Levanon? It's not in Lebanon. Yar Levanon is in Lebanon. It's possibly alluding to that this Maisa which happened, which they got the doors from Alexandria, and they were going in the Mediterranean Sea, and this storm blew them all the way up to Lebanon, which is the north of Israel. So it says Levanon, and it came from Beirutim. An alternative explanation, as the Gemara says, is that Abiria Shvayam Balasa, the door that was missing, a creature in the Yam swallowed it up and spit it out. What's a creature in the Yam? It's ambiguous. I want to suggest that's the Levyasan. Levyasan sounds like Levanon. Levanon and Levyasan sound very similar. Levyasan, the doors came, the Levyasan saved it, and Levyasan was personally delivered this door to the Beis Hamikdash. Why is this all important? And the Gemara says that why is it called Levanon? Why is the Beis Hamikdash called Levanon? The Gemara is a drasha. The Gemara says on Lamed Tet Amud Beis, Amar Rabbi Yitzchak ben Tavlai, Lamed Ikra Shema Levanon, Shemal ben Avanosein Shal Yisrael, makes their sins white. What's going on over here? It makes their sins white. Sounds like a good thing. It makes their sins white. I suggest white is not a good thing. Black is ambiguity. It's koshech. You don't know what's going on. At least you don't know. When color is a very good thing. Color is enjoyable. It's nice to see color. When you're white is a existence of all the colors combined, but you don't see any color. It's ambiguity. It's you're living in the clouds. The clouds are white. You're not living in this world. You have a positive vision of this world. When things are not so positive all the time here in this world, and you're always positive, a person's always positive, he's a white person, let's say. So, he's a white outlook on life. Um, so I think the idea over here is, why is it called Levanon? Basically, it's called Levanon. And what does this have to do with these doors of the Heichal? The Beis Hamikdash was the code. Beis Hamikdash was kedusha, the best, the most kedusha in the world, the Kodesh Hakadoshim. Wherever there's kedusha, there's also more of a yetzer hara. There's more of an opposition of Sar Hara, in order to make sure that you don't uh, figure out the secrets or attain the highest levels of kedusha, because that's what it says in the Sfarim Hakadoshim, of course. they they say that when there's more kedusha, there's more makom for tuma, and that's part of the dalsas hahichal. They're made out of wood. Everything was made out of gold. Gold is a great thing. Gold, the world goes by gold, meaning money was backed all by gold. Now it's partially backed by gold. Gold, the gold standard, is valuable. Because of its scarcity, it's valuable. It's something of value that people desire. Wood is nice, but wood is represents anova, represents humility, and humility is a good thing. And at some point in your life, one of the madregos of Minchas Ben Yair is anova. But to live your whole life with anova, that's a false way of living. That's represented by the heichal, that Levyasan, which is, the representation of the Sarara in this world. Levyasan is a bad creature, or Lebanon, Levyasan, the same thing. They personally delivered the doors to Heichal, that made out of wood, because of the nisim that happened. They're made out of wood. The entranceway into kedusha, people think, has to go through anava, and the furthermore you go, all the way in the Kodesh Hakadoshim, the most Kodesh is the Aron with the Luchos. Luchos is the most Kadosh thing. Right next to Luchos, you have the Shivrei Luchos. Exactly opposites. Life, you have to choose. The Luchos represent, I'm not going to go into this right now, but the Luchos represent the 5 categories of human enjoyment in this world. And the Shivrei Luchos is the opposite, where a person says to himself, he has to forego all the enjoyment in this world. And the Aron was made of zav on the outside, zav on the inside, and wood in the middle. Because it was even more. A person can say to himself, oh, I'll value myself on the outside, and I'll value myself on the inside, but also leave a little bit of anav, a little bit of wood. That's the wrong perspective. We believe you have to be kulo zav. A person has to be kulo zav, and that's what the luchos were. And that's the lesson from this Gemara. And that's why the Gemara says, "Amar v'shai b'shasha b'anashlom beis hamidrash natabo kol minim megadim shal zav." When he personally planted trees of zav, whether it was really gold or not was not the point. The point is that the produce there was gold, and that's the real produce has to be complete gold. A person has to value himself. The more a person values himself, the more he's running away from anava. He's not being a balgaiva. A balgaiva is someone who not living in this world. He doesn't know who he is, but someone who knows who he is and values himself and gives importance to himself like gold, that's the highest level, and that brings you to the fulfillment of the luchos.